living person is controlling unknowingly.
Really?
Whatever the case may be, poltergeists have caught the attention of paranormal enthusiasts and experts, scientists, and many others who are just plain curious. And that's what we are tonight, the curious.
We are.
We are a collection of curious people, and that's why we come here night after night to look at these strange things.
Strange people.
Strange, like-minded people, interested in the unknown, in the mysterious, in the unexplained. It is the glue that binds us together. So few people in our real day-to-day lives can we sit and speak freely about these strange, bizarre topics relating to the extraterrestrial, the paranormal, and the unexplained. But here is quite a different story. Here we relish in such things. So, moving on to how do you define this kind of relish? There's 8 stages to a poltergeist haunting. 8 stages.
8 stages, huh?
Right. The 8th stage of a poltergeist haunting has been taken from Rupert Matthews' book, Poltergeists. Stage 1. Beginnings. The activity usually begins with faintly registered sounds. This is usually a scratching noise, which may be disregarded as being made by a rodent or to be the sound of water pipes. These noises are usually only heard at night.
Sons of bitches.
Stage 2. Noises. These sounds will become harder to ignore. These noises resemble knuckles, knocking on wood or other objects such as glass. Sometimes very loud cracking or unexplained banging noises are heard, but this is less likely. Objects can sometimes be felt to vibrate. At this stage, the activity may also be heard during daylight hours. Stage 3. Moving objects. Matthews does state that sometimes stage 3 begins at the same time as stage 2. Objects may be moved inexplicably. Stone throwing or lithobolia is very common. Objects may disappear and reappear. This activity usually is focused around a certain type of object, such as a specific ornament or keys. It's rare to actually see them be moved. Items may be hot to the touch immediately thereafter. The old spicy keychain. You ever see that?
No.
No.
Let me continue. I'll put a pin in that. I want to return to the spicy keychain.
You have a super chat, Pete, when you get a chance.
Thanks. I'll get to that as soon as we're done here. Thank you, Tina.
Okay.
Stage 4. When an object appears out of nowhere, it's called an apport. When an object disappears into oblivion, it's called a disapport. These type of activities are extremely rare but have been reported. Stage 5, communication. In some cases, communication is established through a code of knocks. This may be knocks indicating a yes and one knock indicating a no, or some other established pattern. Sometimes speech is achieved. In almost all of these cases, there seems to be a gradual process which starts with whistles, slurps, growls, and so on. At first, mutterings or distant voices will be heard. Next, the voice will be said to sound robotic. Finally, a witness will claim regular speech is achieved. The poltergeist will then be able to speak as a normal person and will begin to make statements. Claims by the poltergeist about their identity are usually grand. They may claim to have been a murderer, a victim, a suicide, or even a famous person. When claims are checked out, they will usually be determined to be false. According to Matthews, it is rare for a poltergeist to have knowledge of events outside what is widely known within the community. Matthews does not mention this, but it is interesting that many claim spirit contacts through a Ouija board often share these characteristics. Also share these characteristics of distinct.
Messed them Ouija boards.
Stage 6
I
is
don't
the
fuck with Ouija
climax.
Stage 6 is what? I'm sorry, Pete.
Stage 6 is the climax. The poltergeist activity will suddenly increase to a point it had never reached before. This may last several hours or several days. the
Impressive.
poltergeist can talk, it may state that it's going to be leaving soon. Unlike previous claims, however, this will generally turn out to be true. Stage 7 is the decline. According to Matthews, the decline is almost always much shorter than the buildup. The poltergeist will lose its abilities in reverse and gradually become weaker. Stage 8 is endings. The activity may slowly skip to an end. Sometimes the poltergeist activity will reach a dramatic conclusion. In many cases, exorcisms or blessings may prematurely kill the activity. Sometimes the focused person leaving the premises may cause the activity to cease. There are some other features too. And this comes to us from Shannon Sin from the Living Library.
Okay.
The idealized poltergeist haunting will usually have a focused person. According to Matthews, this focused person is usually a teenage female, but may be of any age or gender. Some investigators believe this poltergeist activity will center around one person, but that is not always the case. Matthews also states that it is often said that focused people are usually in a stressful situation of some kind. Examples given within books are divorce and attempted sexual assault. Also of note, poltergeists sometimes manifest physically. The apparition may be smoky or misty. Sometimes it will take on human form. Sometimes the apparition may appear very strange in such an animal or plant form. Wet spots may also manifest, which smell like urine. Sometimes this manifestation can be seen as it is occurring and seems to come out of nowhere.
Yuck.
Witnesses will sometimes claim to have been harmed by the poltergeist entity. Scratches and bite marks are often reported to have appeared on one person's skin without explanation. In some cases, animals will perish. Fires will sometimes start in the home inexplicably. In the Bell Witch case, the poltergeist claimed to have killed Jack Bell. In one case, which is not in Matthew's book, a woman named Doris Berther claims to have been raped by a poltergeist. Witnesses later supported her claim. The Berther's poltergeist account and investigation was made into the 1981 movie The Entity, starring Barbara Hershey.
That was a fucked up movie too.
It was a fucked up movie.
I recommend it.
Now, it's important to note the poltergeist distinction. And, you know, we're going to talk about Doris Smithers later. It's important to note that the poltergeist distinction is not as clear as many imagine. The characteristics of these hauntings often share many similarities with conventional hauntings. The word poltergeist basically means noisy ghost, but has come to represent a specific idealized type of haunting. Many individuals separate poltergeists from traditional ghosts because they believe that the spirits of the deceased cause other types of hauntings, and that there are psychic explanations for poltergeist activity. One early theory was that poltergeist activity was caused by the uncontrolled female teenage sexual energy, an unfounded belief that persists to this day.
Them teenagers.
That doesn't account for, like, you know, flowers being burned and books flying across the room, or, you know, the China set taking a little trip. Well, with all the fun things that human beings do to each other, I'm surprised there aren't more fucking just pissed off, angry spirits looking to harm the living for any reason possible. We have a long-standing history of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not the nicest. I'm fucking my daughter is a teen and she's 9 going on 19. At that point, fuck you, you're no longer in control.
Huh.
Don't ever like better to accept the inevitable than hope at that point. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't.
Yeah. Realize that all the little children that you're raising, they're not going to be extensions of you. They're going to be their own little fucked up human beings, and the best you can do is give them tools so that they're not entirely insufferable little fucktards to everybody else. And actually have some useful skills. If you did that, if your kid's useful and kind of isn't completely antisocial, like, you did a good job. Good parent.
Yep. None of us are perfect. We're all fucked up. We're just trying to make our kids slightly less fucked up than we are.
Hey, man.
Every generation gets one less fucked up, or at least it's supposed to.
That's why I'm not having kids, because, like, I'll make they'll all produce fucking little, like, Dr. Dooms or something. The rest of y'all will be fucked.
It goes back to the Future. You know, what happened? We turn out to be assholes or something? He's like, no, it's your kids, Marty. They're assholes.
Yeah.
That's right.
My kids have conquered the fucking planet, dude.
Alright.
So I'm saving the rest of y'all by keeping that fucking nut in my balls.
Yeehaw!
Or down the drain. Either one of the two.
Yeah, but if your lineage was in charge, wouldn't that be a good thing?
Fuck no, dude. Like, the rest of y'all, it'd be the Imperium of man and shit. We're straight go 40K in this motherfucker. Look, man, my bloodline was in charge at one point. It was both a good launching, staging point for mankind, and also a really fucking bad point for mankind. So, yeah, we ain't going back to that.
Hopefully not.
Hey, as fucked up as human beings are, they deserve better than that. I want to believe that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, y'all might be some motherfucking pieces of shit to one another, but yeah, I can't think of far worse terrors to inflict upon you than is worthy of any of the shits you've done in your lifetime. Like I said, it's a good thing I'm not in charge.
We'd be in trouble, wouldn't we?
Some of you.
Some of us, yeah.
The rest of you would be like, no, you need to go do what you're good at and raise your families and fucking never have to worry about any of the horrors and terrors that could be inflicted upon you. Because I will find those shields and swords and hammers in the dark that'll fucking protect you from all of that so that you never have to see it.
You mean poltergeist?
Yeah, exactly.
I lost him a long time ago.
Let me get to this super chat real quick. Matthew Brumley, thank you, Matthew Brumley, for $4.99. Really appreciate it. Matthew Brumley says, super glad you made the show earlier. Love you all, but 1 in the morning was too late. LOL. Hoping to see a lot more of your work. Zup Pete, my boy. Thank you, Matthew Brumley. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, nice. Thank you, man.
I'm glad well, you know what? If my work wasn't closed, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do the show earlier.
Exactly.
You know, it's only as long as I'm sitting around here, the show will keep going earlier. You know, I don't mind it being on earlier. I mean, the only reason it was on so late is because that's when I got home from work.
Yeah.
But now there's no getting home from work.
Yeah, I know.
No, I figured, 11 o'clock is a pretty good time, you know.
Yeah, before you walked in and literally went straight to the computer, right?
Yeah. So I was lucky I had a little time to throw a TV dinner in the oven.
Yeah, exactly. Get a drink.
Yeah, I like having them early. I do like having them.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
So we
Definitely
hit
seems
the
better.
8 stages of how the poltergeist moves throughout.
I didn't know it had 8 stages.
Haunting. Now, there's some specific poltergeist cases we're going to talk about. But
Okay.
I found this article here from the Conversation, academic rigor, journalistic flair, conversation.com. 8 things you need to know about poltergeists. Okay? Parapsychologists cannot agree on what they are. Some parapsychologists view poltergeists as a type of ghost or supernatural entity, which are responsible for psychological and physical disturbances. Others believe that such activity originates from unknown energy associated with a living person or location.
I don't believe that.
Skeptics, on the other hand, prefer mundane explanations such as attention-seeking, pranks, and trickery. Poltergeists tend to prefer women to men. A person-focused poltergeist tends to, but not always, involves a female adolescent who is suffering from emotional turmoil when the activity begins. That said, however, not all so-called focal agents are teenagers. Indeed, William G. Roll, a pioneer in poltergeist research, found the age of people reported experiencing poltergeist activity ranged from 8 to 78 years old.
Wow, that's a big range.
Yeah, it's like the whole range.
Yeah.
Some of the best poltergeists are thought to be fakes. In 1967, at a lawyer's office in Rosenheim, Germany, strange things started to happen in the presence of the 19-year-old secretary, Anna-Marie Charabel. Paintings and overhead light fittings started swinging. While fluorescent tubes unscrewed themselves and massive spikes in activity occurred, the speaking clock was also called multiple times per minute and furniture was moved.
What's
The
a
police, utility company officials, psychiatrists, and parapsychologist Hans Bender investigated without explanation. But many believe it was a fake, all due to hidden nylon threads, especially given that the incident stopped when Charabel left the firm in early 1968.
Look at that. She took it with her.
Yeah, it's another thing. Don't they follow you?
Yeah. That's what I thought too, yeah.
Would that be that stage 7 still?
Yeah, like they're attached to you.
Yeah.
Or
that's
to a
what-
place. Yeah, stage 7 is the decline.
So what, stage 6 then?
I guess it would happen somewhere between, I guess it happens before it even begins. I guess it happens when it starts scratching on the walls.
yeah.
It starts when it's scratching on the walls in the beginning. Like, that's when it's made an attachment. First it's scratching walls, then it's noises, then things start moving, then things are appearing and disappearing, then they're giving you the spicy keychain.
What's the spicy keychain?
Okay, the spicy keychain.
Yeah, please.
All right, let me see what you got.
Is that where you dip your finger in the chili and then go for a little double click in the mouse action?
It's from an artist named Will Lauren.
Spicy keychain.
Mm-hmm. All around your neck. Just a little rub and a dibble dib and meow meow.
A little rub-a-dub-dub for the spicy keychain. There you go.
Oh, see, I'm telling you right there. Ah, my keys are running. Dominic, big cookies. You are hitting my keys to give me the whole spicy keychain. How could you give your own brother the spicy keychain, Dominique? Well, I'll tell you what, that's because your brother's a fucking asshole and he's doing it wrong. Because the spicy keychain is you keep a nice little spicy pepper around your neck, and what you do is you dabble little fingers, you get a little bit of oil on your fingertip, and you go dibble dabble tip tap, and fucking next thing you know, you're like having about 4 to 6 hours of some spicy Latino. Yeah. Yeah, see? I go, like, see?
Now, I've never heard of that. They're saying that's part of a poltergeist?
What, the spicy keychain?
Yeah.
Yeah, your keys will disappear, then they'll reappear, but when they come back, they're hot.
I've never had that happen, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's a
Not the wrong motherfuckers.
spicy keychain. It's funny. Thanks, Fed.
Ridiculous, and you know it.
Fucking come hang out in my circles. Like, we out crazy and fucking have some fun with this mother total goddamn shit show that is life.
Okay. My cousin had a house in South Florida that I lived in Hollywood, Florida. And that place started off with a little bit of scratching, and then we got knocking. And then stuff would disappear and reappear like that. But it wasn't hot. It would just, all of a sudden something would be there, and you're like, God, I know I looked there 10 times. But the knocking was so annoying. I mean, it literally sounded like somebody was knocking on the walls or the ceiling. So what stage is that, Pete?
That is
3 or
stage 2.
2, okay. And then the biggest thing that happened was actually seeing a full-blown apparition of a man that used to live there. Oh, and I forgot one other thing. The TV would always turn to baseball. If there was a baseball game on, the channel...
That's a little creepy for me.
Yeah, and yeah. I actually reached out and talked to this guy's relative. It was so bad. And he said the dude, yeah, he lived in this house. He owned the house before my cousin did. And he loved baseball. I was like, yeah, apparently.
No, it's his choice.
Yeah, I mean, literally, go get up, go to the bathroom, or go to my room, come back out, the TV be turned on baseball.
Are you crying? There's no crying
in baseball.
There's no I won't talk about that.
But we did. I see a full-blown apparition of him. He was wearing khaki pants and a plaid shirt, a red plaid shirt. I can still remember it.
Yeah, it kind of burns into your mind real fast.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to process it extra hard because it doesn't look right.
Yeah. But it was nothing ever mean was done. Nobody ever got hurt. It was just noisy. It waked me up. A lot of times I was there by myself.
There's your receipt.
First time my cousin came down to stay for a weekend, and one night she comes in and she just throws my bedroom door open. Like, what? It woke me up, She's like, can you hear that? I'm like, what, the knocking? She's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I hear the knocking. I'm not deaf. She's like, what, are you scared? I'm like, yeah, imagine being there by yourself and hearing it. Freaked her out, and she had brought a friend down with her. It kept us all up all night. All over the house.
Well, I mean, I got told about, and this came from my mom, my dad, aunt, uncle, my grandfather, who was the preacher who basically got knocked on his fucking ass by something that wasn't there in the hallway.
Oh, wow.
Basically down there fucking broke his jaw and cracked.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, he got attacked by something. It fucking bloodied him in the hallway.
Oh, my God, Fed.
And then about 2 weeks later...
how did he describe it?
No, my dad broke a fucking broom over something that was trying to choke me to death over my crib, but...
Oh, my God.
The more I looked into it, it actually seemed to be more of, like... those type of situations with the children or whatever. It's not that they're trying to kill you. It's they're trying to use you as a vessel.
Yeah, use your energy, right?
So,
oh my God.
And that, trust me, that's a whole nother fucking long, crazy ass fucking.
Yeah, that's when you get from poltergeist into possession.
No, that's probably one I'll never fucking talk about on air.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I got a whole subset of crazy that goes along with my life that I really don't.
Yes.
But yeah, if you look through like my Twitter feed and stuff like that, you'll see I'm usually up to date on things before they hit and stuff like that. That's part of it.
Wow.
kind of like a tournament. Let me show you what's coming, so you know you're fucking impotent and so small on the scale that I can show you what's coming, and you're gonna fucking be terrified by it. And there ain't gonna be a goddamn thing you can do about it because you're a fucking nobody.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I can't believe the guy got his jaw broke. Holy shit. This one mean ass ghost.
Yeah, and that was my grandfather, who actually was an actual legit preacher.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a lay preacher.
He was being attacked demonically.
Yeah, he
Wow.
ran more non-denominational, but was more Protestant based.
Yeah, probably just use the Bible, right?
Yeah, but it was kind of like a cross between evangelical and Protestant faith.
Okay.
But a lay preacher, meaning he funded his church out of his own pocket. Like he ran. Okay, so fuck it, you guys can look me up. Yeah, my grandfather was the head foreman for Jake's Crane and Rigging in Las Vegas, Nevada, who basically built most of the fucking hotels in that town.
Oh,
So,
wow. Okay.
there you go.
Yep.
That's my family.
He was the man. Your family was the man. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's not flex or anything. That's just just to give you a clue. Like again, I'm nobody. I don't have any of that stuff.
That's not true. You're our Fed.
I'm just me.
Or Fedorable.
You're a crazy person on the internet. That's the best
right.
thing you could ever possibly be.
Really, I'm a fucking nobody piece of shit with a fucking crazy ass respirator mask and a fucking corona bubble on the internet. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, poltergeist like to mess with your stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Poltergeist activities typically starts with minor isolated incidents. They could include unexplained sounds or familiar objects such as your keys or purse moving from their usual place. But while poltergeist activity is typically short-lived, manifestations usually lasting around 5 months. Some cases have persisted for several years. The Chilliwack poltergeist in Canada, for example, was active for only 2 months between 1951 and 1952. During this time, the poltergeist produced loud and violent hammerings on walls, accompanied by occasional flying objects. The Brother Doley case, on the other hand, included a range of phenomena: stains, carvings of images, and Welsh words, generally of a religious nature, and these persisted for several years.
Jeez.
So let's take a look at some of these specific
Philip.
specific hauntings we have some information about. So we'll check out a Chilliwack poltergeist, the Brother Doley case, which is one I have not heard of before myself. Good, nice, thick. Good, nice and thick. That's what I like to see.
She said,
Thick. Yeah.
Thick. All right. Let's start with Doris Bither,
Okay.
known as the Entity Haunting. An alleged haunting which occurred in 1974 in Culver City, California, where a woman named Doris Bithers alleged the ghosts of 3 men were raping her.
Oh my God.
The case inspired Frank DeFilippis' 1978 book, The Entity, which was made into a 1982 film of the same name starring Barbara Hershey.
Mm-hmm.
Doris Bither, a mother of 4 children, met Barry Taff and Kenny Gaynor after a female friend of hers overheard a private conversation between the gentlemen in a Westward bookstore near the UCLA campus. At the time, Taff was working in a now-defunct parapsychology lab run by the late Thelma Moss. Taff, with the assistance of Gaynor, conducted a preliminary interview of Miss Bither's paranormal claims on August 22, 1974. This interview revealed Bither had a history of physical and substance abuse, along with a traumatic childhood. Investigators also noticed there was a poor relationship between Doris and her 4 sons. Their home was likewise in severe disrepair, having been condemned twice. Bither alleged that she was attacked and raped by an invisible entity. Later, she reported the spirits of 3 men assaulted her. Taft allegedly photographed a variety of luminous anomalies while investigating Bither. Taft claimed to have photographed orbs, and said the frequency and intensity of attacks decreased with time. Bithers died in 1995 of pulmonary arrest.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Was he scared to death?
Sounds like it.
The entity. I think this one is one I want to mention. You know what? I'll save this one.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Enfield Holocaust.
Okay.
284 Green Street in Brimstown, Enfield, London, England, between 77 and 79. Two sisters, 11 and 13. Some member of the Society for Physical Research and inventor, some members of the Society for Physical Research and inventor Maurice Gross and writer Guy Lyon Playfair, believing the haunting to be genuine, while others such as Anita Gregory and John Beloff were unconvinced and found evidence the girls had faked incidents for the benefit of journalists. Members of the Committee for Skeptical Inquiry, including stage magicians such as Melbourne Christopher and Joe Nickel, criticized paranormal investigators for being credulous, whilst also identifying features of the case as being indicative of a hoax. The story attracted press coverage in British newspapers, been mentioned in books, featured in television documentaries, and dramatized in Hollywood.
Yeah, but with that case, weren't they supposed to be like almost in on it in a way? The investigators. Because you remember there was a whole bunch of overlapping BS with that case. Pizza. Typing like that.
Left you hanging. Left you hanging.
Oh, sorry, god damn it, I had the fucking mute button on.
Oh, bed.
Hey, you remember that case, right? That's one of the famous ones.
Yeah, I remember, vaguely remember it. I guess the movie, right? Or was it talking about a different one now?
Well, there's definitely a documentary. I know that.
Okay. Come here, Rango.
There's so many cases over the years that, like, spiritual entities, genetic anomalies that have happened, electromagnetic disturbances, gravitational distortions, things like that. Just basically abnormal phenomena that have occurred in so many different cases that, like, that once you sift through all the bullshit, you know, people just telling lies and making shit up, trying to be special or stand out or whatever.
Right.
Sift through all that bullshit, you actually do find real cases of stuff that just defies any, like, logical standing. You're like,
Right.
what the fuck is this shit? Like, everything we know about theoretical physics and everything else and mathematics, the way the universe works, the way the multiverse works, the potential that, you know, outside this universe is basically like we're in like a dimension of hell itself. So there's like a chaos universe beyond
No
the
kidding.
world,
Especially right now.
that exists in between and binds all these other different variations of the multiverse and everything. So it's like taking into account all that at the same time, like, you know, there you go, Rick Sanchez. Quantum distortion. How do you account for all these different variations, all these different variables, and explain it to the average person to be like, yeah, okay, so if you step outside this universe, you're going to step into a universe that resembles fucking basically hell.
It's chaos.
There's gonna be, yeah, just pure chaos and fucking
Chaos.
destruction and creation and everything happening all at once, fucking just to an infinite degree beyond all hope and everything.
You step out of the veil that protects us, right?
And you have all these different variations where, like, all these different life forms and all these different multiverses and everything, they're all manifesting their own, like, variations of a palpable universe within all this crazy fucking chaotic shit. How do you explain that to the average person?
It's like trying to explain away the poltergeist phenomenon. It's very
Right.
difficult to do.
Right.
Just
So
would
let's
have
talk
to
about the
experience
Chilliwack
it.
poltergeist. The Chilliwack poltergeist was an outbreak of poltergeist phenomenon that occurred in the 1950s in Chilliwack, British Columbia. probably due to the human agency of a teenage girl. The girl's aunt believed that racial prejudices were the cause. The residents of Chilliwack called whatever was causing the disturbance the thing. Anna Druryaba was a Ukrainian immigrant who moved to Chilliwack from Saskatchewan in 1933. She worked as a domestic, saving her money until she could buy a 10-acre chicken ranch a mile in town. She lived there in a 4-room cottage. In October of 1951, her 14-year-old niece Kathleen came to live with her. Several months later, poltergeist disturbances began. Objects flew about and damaged windows, and loud, violent hammering sounded throughout the cottage, as though someone was using a jackhammer. The noises seemed to emanate from the northeast corner of the house. No damage was ever visible, despite the terrible pounding sound. Anna thought a local trickster was the cause, but soon felt that someone was deliberately trying to drive her off her property. Drubia's brother, Alex, who lived nearby, believed that someone local who did not like Ukrainians was trying to force his sister out. At least on one occasion, a sheriff's deputy was called to investigate. The deputy, A.J. Edwards, agreed with Alex, whereupon Alex armed himself with a shotgun and stationed himself at his sister's cottage. When the disturbances commenced, Alex fired off shots and shouted threats. Neighbors, armed with shotguns, stood watch as well. The disturbances not only continued, but got worse. The hammering and banging occurred up to 30 times a night, even when the house was floodlit and under observation by neighbors, and also during the day. The noise raced about the cottage. Anna would run outside and try to catch the perpetrator, always to no avail. Even more maddening, the thing seemed to react to people. Once the hammering began, Anna ran to a window and yelled, "Go ahead, do it again, you silly fool." Then the hammering moved to beneath the window. No one was outside when Alex challenged the thing. It answered by shaking the cottage and windows. Locals offered explanations. Maybe the noises were being caused by exceptionally dry ground beneath the cottage. Another explanation proposed that it was an electrical problem of some sort. Anna refused to leave. But niece Kathleen, whose health was poor and who suffered from nerves, was showing strain. Reverend W.T. Clark recognized that Kathleen might be the focal point and persuaded Anna to send her away to Vancouver for a while. During the 10 days the girl was gone, the poltergeist disturbances stopped. They resumed upon her return. Others wanted to investigate the link between the girl and the phenomenon, but Anna and Alex refused to cooperate or even deal with anyone on the matter anymore. Their explanation was that everything was mysteriously caused by racial prejudice. One person who was able to witness the disturbances before the Drubias ceased communicating with physical researcher R.S. Lambert. He wrote that he heard the sounds on 4 occasions. Rapid, violent rapping on the outer wall near a window between 8 p.m. and midnight. The noises sound like a pneumatic hammer and lasted for 1 to 2 minutes at a time. Anna and Kathleen were present on 2 of those occasions. Kathleen was asleep in her bedroom on the floor. However, Lambert agreed with the Drubias that a hostile person was trying to drive Anna and Kathleen out. Most likely, the Chilliwack case serves as an example of recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis, psychokinetic energy produced unwittingly by certain persons. Teenagers in puberty, especially girls, as well as adults under emotional strain, have been associated with recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis. So there's poltergeist activity.
It's loud, right?
It reminds me of Friday 13th, Part 7.
I'm still... It was loud, right? It sounded like it was like a jackhammer. My God.
Yeah.
It's been terrifying. Our knocking wasn't loud like that. It just sounded like light knocking, I guess. Freaky.
Contact confirmed. Ground crew dispatched. Welcome to the station, Commander.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul from Corpus Christi. Paul Corpus Christi. How you doing, by the way?
Yeah.
Psychokinesis. Yeah, exactly. No, Mom, it's that poltergeist again, says Rick Sanchez is my spirit animal. What's going on, Rick Sanchez? How are you? How are you this evening?
Hello.
Why don't you go give that poltergeist no 350?
350. Jesse.
I'm sorry.
You get them darkness monster. Give me that goddamn cheese fitting.
It's been a long quarantine.
Oh God, yeah. You know what's funny though? Like everybody else I know that's like extroverts and everything and requires, a constant stimuli from other people. They're all going crazier than shit right now. And I'm like, I'm an introvert by nature, so I'm like, this is just another day that ends in Y.
Right?
Kinda,
Pretty
yeah.
much. Pretty much.
I'm like, yeah, I'll just
If I wanted to talk to somebody, I'd come on one of these things.
That's
Hey,
right.
look, I'll grab a couple of extra ounces and a couple of extra bottles at the fucking, liquor store, and other than that, fucking life goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the whole world could come crumbling down. I'm like, you know what? I was like, I'm not invested in Fortune 500 companies or governments or anything else or any ideologies or anything else. So you can go fuck yourself, Carol, after that. Because right now, fuck you. That all ended. I fucking cock, it all ended. Like what you have right now is reality, which is you either deal with each other as human beings or you fucking fuck the fuck off. And that's what it's going to come down to. And you know what? I'm so goddamn glad for that. I'm like, fucking thank you. I can deal with rational human beings and fucking throw the rest of you dumb motherfuckers to the curb. I can actually deal with like people who get shit done, instead of all you whiny motherfuckers who just sit there and just use any goddamn excuse to get what you want without actually giving any sort of reciprocity. Fuck you. Reciprocity and order will be restored and maintained at all costs. The rest of you fuck out of here.
Where's your podium? Do you have a podium?
You need one. And a
Why
gavel.
You're good at pontificating.
No, why does everybody keep fucking telling me politics? Like even you just now, just like inadvertently, like I've been hearing that so much lately from people I know. They're like, you need to run for office or something. I'm like, what? Fuck you. That's the last thing this world needs is me in control of anything. Like I will straight bitch slap a fool.
I think that'd be really
Like,
hard.
could you imagine me and Asia Ocasio-Cortez getting in an argument? I'd be like, bitch, go take your fucking nasty ass, fucking flame squirting twat back to the bar where you
Flame squirting twat.
Get out of here, you fucking retard.
God.
I'm done with your shit. Like, I'm tired of listening to your socialistic nonsense and everything. Get the fuck out of here. Like, go back. You while we're in the national emergency and everything, while everybody else is looking for answers and everything else, this bitch is on fucking stream making fucking margaritas. Fuck this hoe. Get your ass back to the bar where you belong. Like, know your fucking role, as they say.
What's going on in the background?
I don't know, but I think Pete's about to have another kid.
I know, right? Good call, Jesse.
They're probably sitting there going, fuck this goddamn...
They ain't gonna get the corona, but they're gonna get the baby boom.
God. Like,
The corona boom.
I'm about to run for office just to see how far I can get and fuck shit up. That's where I'm at. I'm just like, fuck it. If it's all going down, fuck it. Let me in there. I'm gonna fucking do some goddamn damage. I'm gonna fuck this shit up. I'm gonna go after the Illuminati, the deep state, everybody. I'm just gonna like shove a dick right up in your ass.
Ouch.
No lube. No lube.
That's right. Dry.
There's already too many open. You can make some pot.
Pete and spouse.
Serenity. Don't worry. They'll shoot me a long time before they'll ever fucking take a pot shot at you. You'll be what is it? I'll be JFK and you can be. Oh god, that would suck. Never mind. Fed for dictatorship. Oh god, why would you wish that upon the world? I'll fucking Dr. Doom some shit.
Just for fun.
Be like, if you're good people, I'll fucking I will murder the world to make sure that you have a better world.
And that's nice.
And,
Nice way of putting it.
and if you're an evil shit or whatever, and you're one of these human traffickers or kitty fuckers or anything like that, fuck you. I'm going to jerk off to the fucking destruction that I caused to your world. I'm going
Symphony of destruction.
What's that to do with poltergeist?
And if you murder a world, how
Well,
is that
well,
world
yes.
not even savage to even apologize for the murder that you already did? Doesn't make any sense.
if I kill all the evil people of the world,
What the hell?
I'm just confused.
Once he gets going, man, you know, he gets going.
like I said, don't ever give me any power or authority or anything because
Of course
like
not, because you'll murder all the worlds.
no, we will fucking boogaloo this shit and set it right. Like I'll make sure people like you and Pete, like you and your children will never have to fucking deal with any of the evil shit of the world. Like any of the people that would do you guys wrong or do something fucked up or anything like that, I'd be like, no, I'm gonna put those motherfuckers against the wall and like you ain't gonna have to see what happens to them after that. But yeah, that's me. Like I said, don't ever give me power or authority. Ever. Ever. Ever.
So, for the record, never, ever.
Never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever, ever.
I just wanted to put that on the record.
That's right. Noted.
In that shit.
I got cabin fever. I want to go do something.
Go murder the world.
No. I know, we were talking about just going and taking a ride tomorrow. Just take a ride.
Hey, come on, like everything's locked in place and
We
everything.
can still do that, right? We can just take a ride, right? As long as we don't stop and get out of the
Just
car.
hop in the car, go driving around, roll down the windows, wait for the fucking
Yeah.
virus, sneak
Come
in the
in and
window,
attack you, yeah.
Get you.
No, I mean, we can still
Climb
take
up
a
on you.
ride.
Don't even
Right.
think about it. Just stay locked in your house. It's the only safe thing to do. Let's get
That's
back
what
to
we've been
poltergeist.
doing.
I
I hate
feel
it.
sorry for people who are locked in their house right now with poltergeists.
Right? Poor
That
bastard.
would suck. Fuck that.
Yeah, like what if your place is fucking haunted and you're stuck right now? Like,
Okay, Pete, I gotta tell you something, alright? I gotta tell you something. We're getting ready to buy a night vision camera. You know why?
why's that?
Because we're setting it up in that room, the room I was telling you guys about. There's something in our house.
Oh, really?
Okay.
For real. For
I wanna-
real.
I want to see it.
We're gonna try to get it. We're gonna try to get it. I'm ordering a camera. I hadn't done it yet, but it records and it does like 8 hours recording and it's got night vision and I think it tracks. And we're gonna set it up in that room. It's my cousin's kid's room. You know where he's at right now? He's asleep on the couch. He won't even sleep in the room. It messes with him.
Huh.
It pushes on the bed. It wakes him up. It touches them.
You know, if I was there, I'd probably cock smack that thing in.
Oh yeah,
in the
I'd be
face until
yeah, I'd
it
be
gets
screaming
the fuck
at it.
out.
I'd be screaming at it. Stop it! Stop it! You know, I mean, I'd be screaming at it. I mean, I don't know if it'd help or not, but I would be. But I mean, God strike me dead. We're getting ready to buy a camera to record that room.
Well, no,
Because
the
we
the one thing you gotta learn about the dead is like they only have so much power over the living. The living ultimately have the most power.
Horsepower,
because
right.
They are the ones producing the energy that produces the interaction between the two.
Right.
So, like, you need to control
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I yell at it. If I see it, I yell at it. It's like a shadow person, for real.
Like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking piece of shit.
Uh-huh, I do.
Fuck off.
My kid was walking down the hallway the other day, and he came out a little hallway area, and it looked like it was dead behind him. It was freaky. It's almost like a
It's
doppelganger.
not good.
Oh yeah, I think her autistic son attracts him. I really do, because we've got a lot of places that seem to have activity.
Well, Tina, they're easy prey. They're like
Right?
an open channel to it.
Well, the weirdest thing.
There's no off switch.
Here's the weirdest thing. Okay, her autistic son is very autistic. He has a mentality like a 6-year-old. Okay, but he's very routine oriented. So every night he would go to bed at 9 o'clock. Lights got to be out, no sound, nothing. He goes to bed. He quit sleeping in the room. He sleeps in with his mother now. There's something in that damn room. And for him to stop his
It's not good. Like, that sounds pretty damn serious.
I know. For him, the autistic son, to stop his routine is just crazy.
Tina, you know what you need to do? Go sit in that room with some sage and talk to it.
I want to get it on film first.
Like, do that, but when you do, like, sit there, like, don't approach it with a hostility. Approach it with, I don't know, more of a compassionate sense.
Yeah, I don't really want to invite it in.
I realize you're stuck where you are.
Yeah, I really don't want to invite it in.
Not okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to make friends with it. I don't want to invite it in because...
No. Start with that. Let it know it's not invited there. It's not welcome there. But, like, don't be completely hostile to it at first. Because remember, like that spirit or whatever it is used to be human. If that's the way it is.
I don't think so. I think this is demonic.
If it isn't, if it doesn't go away after that point, then by all means, you break out the fucking soul, voodoo priestess, you go.
I think it's demonic.
Suck a motherfucking pity milk, you goddamn bitch.
Yeah, I think it's
See,
definitely
if it's demonic, that's no good. But if it used to be a version, you should see if it wants
No,
to thank
it's
some
not.
people.
I don't think this thing ever walked through
Right.
and this thing never walked through the right now. It's almost like all this craziness going on. It is like the veil is lifting. I mean, there's more, 8 more UFO reports.
You're in Florida though, man. That's like America's ball center. And the balls of America and Louisiana are just like that. That's why, like, I was dying laughing away how Shreveport. I was like, what is it with that place? Every time I went through Shreveport, it smelled just like old fucking common
That
shit.
place is haunted as hell too.
Oh my
ain't it?
God, Thad. Come on.
Cable-Aid. No, I have not. Not yet. I probably should.
Where you go, it's just got this funky, old, pungent, fucked up smell like old nut to it.
I think Shreveport is very haunted.
I have no idea what the fuck it is about that region, but it does. It just smells like old fucking moldy ball sack.
Right? It does have an odd smell to it. But I love New Orleans, and I know you do
Let me
too.
interrupt here, since we're on the road in life. I figure I can get a word in here. Dr. Corbett Glasses. Thank you, Dr. Corbett Glasses. Dr. Corbett Glasses says, after the stream, I will watch The Green Slime, 1968. Now, I've never seen The Green Slime, 1968. But the cover art I'm seeing here must be based on the game. Looks fantastic. Let's share this with her. Got nothing to do with poltergeist, but it's also cool. Look at that. The green slime are coming.
That's awesome.
Oh, I love it.
Look at their spaceman just shooting at it. They're floating around in space, shooting.
It looks like some of the Ghostbusters
Oh,
toys
it's such a
back
cool
in the day.
picture, Pete. Oh, I want to color it.
Tentacles.
Oh, look at that.
It always comes back to tentacles.
That is, I know, Fed. It does.
Yeah, I have no
You do,
idea.
Matthew? Matthew lives in New Orleans. That's cool. Lucky you. I love New Orleans. That is a cool picture. I so want to color that. Look at the colors on it. I love it. Is that like the reflection of the sun on them, right? Is that what the yellow is? That is awesome.
Yeah, that's I think something we can all admire. I like the way her head's inside, her hair is floating around inside
Yeah,
her,
it's cool. That is such a cool
her
picture.
dome bubble space helmet.
I love the bubble. I love the bubble too. The glass.
Like that's the only protection she has from the fucking chill
Right.
of space. Otherwise, she's just in this skin tight cat suit.
That's right. And her fishbowl on her head.
all I'm thinking is I'm looking at that picture right now, right? And all I'm thinking is, if you undo that sash and pull down, that bottom half gonna come down real easy, and
All right,
you
Ben.
know, some space love.
Dude, what are you doing?
We got the 6 fantasies
Yeah,
coming
I'm
out.
sending this some rated R shit.
You know what he's doing, Pete.
I think he's seeing.
Look, you gotta kill the tentacle monster, and then you save her, and which you add the shand up, and then over and unleash the sash, and pull down. You get rid of the fucking helmets too, because you're gonna be in some safety. And that motherfucker that's all up near the space monster, all them motherfuckers, they all got eaten because they're some dumbass fucking. Yeah, they're dumbasses. They were just like, that's your like, white knight crew. Your toxic, masculine fucking character is gonna come in, fucking poison that big fucking tentacle monster, and he's gonna die. He's gonna get the moment. He's gonna propagate and raise. How's that?
Done.
Where am I wrong?
Yep, you're probably right. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the spicy keychain, yo. Yeah, damn right. I'm gonna make sure we don't become a bunch of fucking poltergeists.
That's right, like the story of the brother Dolly poltergeist case. This is the story of events that took place near Bold, North Wales, home of David and Rosemary Gower. Living with them was their adopted son, Sean Paul, born in 1985 who had Down syndrome. As a notable modern poltergeist case entry describes it, the phenomenon consisted of a variety of aspects. Large numbers of statements, carvings of images, and Welsh words, generally of a religious nature, inside and outside of the house. Intrusions of Welsh religious words in emails, computer files, printed documents, noises, strange smells, temperature fluctuations, pools of water, electrical disturbances, object displacements, disappearances and reappearances, apparitions of the Virgin Mary and of a monk, photographic anomalies, scratching of skin, no throwing of objects was reported.
But those apparitions, holy shit. Why religious, I wonder? You know?
Yeah, who knows?
Oh, it's scary.
This doesn't really do the phenomenon justice, but the flavor, Brother Dolly Adolphus, was a nickname given by the family to whatever was causing the events. Though the Gower's youngest daughter claimed to have seen an apparition of a young monk, Rosemary herself saw a monk-like figure and a message. We are not told what is said. We are not told what it said. And a message, we're not told what it said. It was found on a notepad signed Dolan. Following Daniel's JSPR paper, the Gowers themselves had the Brother Dolly case, family perspectives. This is unusual, but we rarely hear directly from the witnesses themselves in articles written for academic publications. Having the two articles next to each other might, however, raise the question in the reader's mind about Daniel's independence. He feels less an investigator than an agent.
He said, Daddy, Daddy, I'm a kung fu kick the motherfucking couch while I bonsai flip the cat. I guarantee you. Because that's what a crazy little kid at that age would do. And now Pete's in there, he's like grabbing his kid in midair, like 6 feet up in the air, he's grabbing him and fucking doing some like McFoley backflip kick to the fucking couch. Having some fun, laughing his ass off. You know it.
Yeah, he ain't gonna play some games. Says one night I had a ghost walk to the other side of the room I was working in, stand for a moment, then walk into a nearby bathroom, switching the lights on and off. That's pretty damn creepy.
Yeah. Dude, I still, like, I don't know. The fucking ghost that tried to kill me as a little kid and then coming back when I was in my early 20s and looking at it through the mirror, through the fucking front window of the house that it all happened in and seeing the shadow. Like, and the funny thing is, like, not scared of it at all. Things like that, like, I have no fear of the supernatural at all. Like, matter of fact, I welcome it at all fronts, because I'm like, the moment one of you motherfuckers reveals yourself to me is the moment I no longer have to worry. All my, everything that I've thought in my life has now been basically validated. Because I now know you're real. And that exists, which means all my other theories, everything else I researched, everything else I fucking protected myself with against that side of things, which means a lot of things are true. But, you know, just waiting to find that moment where any of that shit manifests to a point where, yeah, it's actually a real thing. Where you can go, look, here it is. Clear as day, right in front of your face. So you can go up to the average idiot of the world and just be like, here's the evidence, here you go. You gonna be a fucking retard, or are you gonna fucking wake up? Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? My bad.
It's all good.
Hey, you know what? At one point in my life, they thought I was actually retarded, until they actually tested me through through a couple programs, and they're like, "Oh shit, no, he's just slightly on the spectrum, but still kind of, you know, what should I say?
Insane, completely insane.
No, socially viable." But yeah, I can still fit in with polite society and everything else, but I also have that other side that's completely batshit insane. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
The Shadow knows. No, Matthew Brumley. Shadow Team does not exist. How many times I gotta tell people that? Shadow Team does not exist, ever. It never did. We never did any of the shit that fucking anybody would ever accuse us of, and we have not influenced society at all for about the past 20 years. So no, we have not influenced any of the skeptic community or any of that shit. So no, don't even put any of that shit, because it don't exist.
You know, Petty, you were saying that you were never scared of that stuff, right?
What?
You were never scared of entities and stuff, right?
No.
I never was either. I just get mad. I get mad. I don't like to be followed and stuff, so I get mad.
I'm like, if a ghost walked up to me and presented itself and manifested,
Yeah,
I would be more relieved than anything.
well, yeah, I mean, you
You're
could...
like, oh, thank God. Now I know I'm not fucking completely bad shit. It means all this other stuff. So, yeah,
Right.
Don't worry about the trying to scare me.
Well, you know, you say that too.
Not sure at all, dude.
I mean,
No, like if some ghost fucking all of a sudden went all bad shit and was like, "Rah!" trying to scare me or whatever, I'd probably whip my dick out and start pissing at its feet and just be like, "Hey, have a conversation." Like, I don't care. Living or dead or anything else, I'm just like, I don't care. You come at me sideways, I'll fucking cock slap you. I don't care. Like, I'm stupid like that.
I mean, I feel crazy talking about this thing in our house, but you know what? It's not just me. There's 3 people here that don't have, I don't think have anything wrong with them, but 3 people have seen, heard, and felt this thing. And stuff does disappear and reappear in the house here a lot.
That's kind of cool.
I guess. Like, I have an NRA knife that I use to break down boxes with. That damn thing is always disappearing and reappearing. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm like, don't try and scare me. That may work with the majority of people, but it's like, I've already had to face too much crazy shit in my life and too much horrific shit in my life that I'm just like, yeah, whatever, fuck it, what's next?
Bring it on, bitch.
That's not being snarky or sarcastic, that's just like...
That's Fed's motto. Bring it on, bitch.
Reminds me of a bad Santa once again. You think you can make my life any worse? Take a fucking shot.
Right?
Right.
Oh, God.
All my worst nightmares...
That poor kid. That poor kid in the movie.
So, what the fuck else you gonna throw at me? Come on. I already know that the worst case scenario is probably going to happen, so, like, what the fuck, bring it on. I will drink rum and piss in your face until I'm no longer able to do so.
Very.
This is how you're going to talk to a ghost?
Yeah. Pete. Here he goes.
I should probably shut the fuck up.
So, you bring a whole new meaning to don't cross the streams, Ben.
Right?
I'm gonna hit
Hey, Mecca.
Became the holy water segment of the show, otherwise known as the holy water sports.
That is so
Sacrilege
well
at a time like this.
Right? My stomach's hurting now from laughing.
Bunch of roustabouts. That's the problem.
We're all going crazy.
What the fuck do you expect, dude? I'm like, what the hell else? I'm facing all this other crazy shit. Now I'm like, okay. Now we're in the apocalypse phase of humanity. Okay, whatever.
No, we're not talking about the apocalypse. We're talking about poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Apocalypse.
Back to
I
poltergeist.
can't see, my eyes are crying.
Sharknado.
Oh, jeez. Another stupid movie.
Oh, it's fun though.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Tell us a story that we can roast some marshmallows to. Please. Save us
I
from
know
our-
Mecca's got some good ones. Mecca always has good stories.
Of Poltergeist? I don't know about Poltergeist.
Well, ghost
Because
stories.
they won't move shit, but... Well, just like the Stanley felt haunted, but...
Yeah.
Because you felt like there was somebody, like... Okay, you know, like when somebody leans next to you on the bed and they're like a fist on the pillow?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
It's crazy.
But it was on the stage, you know, like it wasn't. So...
That's what I think is going on in the room in the house here. Exactly the same thing. Probably somebody sitting on the bed. Yeah, that's the way they're describing it, you know. You missed it before you came in. We're buying a night vision camera to film the room my cousin's son sleeps in. We want to get it on camera. I know.
Turns out it's Bigfoot.
That'd be awesome. I like Bigfoot.
Jeez.
Who's gonna mess with you? Bigfoot's your friend, you know?
Yeah, like I said the other day, I watched Harry and the Hendersons with my son.
Yeah, that's
It's
such
good
a
to have a
cute
Bigfoot
movie.
on your side.
Yeah,
He was scary at first.
yeah.
We thought he was gonna eat them.
Well, of course.
Then he was just mad chill.
Wait,
Yeah.
what is this pillow fisting? No, none of that. Like, send super chats, but no pillow fisting.
I don't.
Unless you really want to pillow fist, in which case, you know, send some dirty ass super chats.
What?
Urban Dictionary.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
It's a hostile takeover.
I just read some. I looked up and then I saw the chat and saw some random shit. So there you go.
Fed, in case I forgot to tell you, I love you, buddy.
I love you guys too.
Thank you.
Okay, and I really am. I'm thankful everybody is, you know. We're all here every night, able to fucking like have some fun, talk some shit, and have some fun and everything else. Like, really, like, especially like now, like this is good times. Like one of the
Mystic shit.
right. It's one of those times that reminds me of be like, you know, it reminds me to hold on to my humanity.
You don't have any humanity, Fed.
He does. Just,
Don't fucking tell people that. I'm trying to lie.
he does.
Trying to maintain his image.
Look, people are trying to push me into politics. I need to learn to be a professional fucking liar.
Yeah, you do.
You just do the same thing, but you put on a suit.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. I'm gonna wear that shit I was wearing the other night. I'm gonna wear that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's cool.
Just be like, you're all a bunch of pieces of shit. Like, you need to change your lives. Step up and be better people.
All right, Pete, you gotta get back on track, man.
Please.
You gotta get back on track.
Shut me up, please.
You there, Pete?
Wait,
Okay.
He's like,
wait. That sounds like that. That was a
I know
mouthful of
I know
food.
what that was, yeah. Giggity.
Mouthful of muffer, mouthful of food. One of the two.
A hot dog being found its way from my location.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice. A hot dog.
Pudding tang too. Yes, that's exactly how it would be. If I had debated AOC, I would just whip it out and piss on her. I wouldn't even care.
Jesus Christ.
She's not very smart.
And then I'd tell her to shut the fuck up and make me a goddamn margarita.
If you like pina colada,
You will suck my ball.
Here we go.
And if
It shows a little bit of
it's in,
a lack of class and awareness.
I'm gonna smack you down the hose. Yeah. We'll get super fragilistic, expialidocious, and fucking hyper, uber, what is it, toxic masculinity. Just be like, look, if that's what it takes for people not to be starving and suffering and dying and shit, then cool, that's what we need to do. Whatever works. If it doesn't work, get rid of it. Who's got the vibrator?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
apparently it's Tina. You win the prize, young lady.
My electric eraser.
I'm looking at a capybara sitting in a bucket.
It was pretty far away from the phone. I'm surprised Mike picked it up.
yes.
That tickled my flamboyantly. vibrator. Dude, sandwich from ourselves, please.
The Glenn Luce Devil, everybody. In his book, Satan's Invisible World Discovered from 1685, Sinclair described an alleged poltergeist incident known as the Devil of Glenn Luce. Sinclair described the incident as having a usefulness for refuting atheism. The incident is described as having taken place at the house of Weaver Gilbert Campbell in Glen Luce during October of 1654. A beggar named Alexander Agnew was refused a handout by Campbell. Agnew had promised to cause the family harm, and over the next 2 years, strange phenomena were alleged to have occurred at the house. This included the mysterious cutting of warp thread, demonic voices, strange whistling noises, and stones being thrown. The poltergeist claims to have been dismissed by researchers as a hoax. Magic historian Thomas Frost suggests the phenomenon was a result of conjuring trickery. The story was given to Sinclair by Campbell's son, Thomas, a philosophy student from a college in Glasgow, who was living at the household. Folklorist Andrew Lang suggests that Thomas had produced the phenomenon fraudulently. Historian David Damrosch has noted that Alexander Agnew, commonly called the Jock of Broad Scotland, was the first person in Scottish history to publicly deny the existence of God. He was hanged at Dumfries for blasphemy on May 21st, 1656.
Wow.
So yes, the Glen Luce Devil, an alleged poltergeist incident. That's one of them. That's one of them. What else? We've already gone through these 8 stages.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard before. Did that first, I was like,
The drummer of Tedworth from 1662. An alleged poltergeist manifestation in the West Country of England by Joseph Lamb in his book Seducicus Triumphatus. Early accounts reported in 1661 a local landowner, John Mompresson, owner of a house in the town of Tedworth, now called Tidworth in Wiltshire, had brought a lawsuit against an unlicensed vagrant drummer named William Dury, whom he accused of collecting money by false pretenses. After he had won a judgment against the drum was turned over to Mompresson by the local sheriff. Mompresson then found his house plagued by nocturnal drumming noises. It was alleged the drummer had brought these plagues of noise upon Mompresson's head by witchcraft. Dury was said to have been associated with a band of gypsies. Glanville, who visited the house in 1663, claimed to have heard strange scratching noises under a bed in the children's room. Christmas Day, 1667, Samuel Pepys, in his diary record, records his wife Elizabeth reading the story to him. He found it to be the strange story of spirits and worth reading in deep. In 1668, Glanville published one of the earlier versions of Seducicius Triumphatus at his blow at modern Sadduceeism, to which is added the relation of the famed disturbance by the drummer in the house of Mr. John Mompresson. In Volume 3 of the works of Reverend John Wesley, there is a reference to the drummer at Tedworth. The famous instance of this, which has been spread far and wide, was the drumming in which Mr. Mompresson's house at Tedworth, who it was said acknowledged it was all a trick, and that he had found out the whole contrivance. Not so, my eldest brother, then at Christ Church, Oxon, inquired of Mr. Mompresson and his fellow collegian. Whether his father had acknowledged this or not, he answered, the resort of gentlemen to my father's house was so great, he could not bear the expense. He therefore took no pains to confute the report that he had found out to be a cheat, although he and I, and all the family knew, the account of which was published, to be punctually true.
very official.
Yeah, very official. Charles Mackay, in his Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Cowards in 1841, considered the phenomenon to be undoubtedly fraudulent, produced by Confederates of the drummer, and suggested Mompresson was easily deceived. Amos Norton Kraft, in 1881, also suggested the phenomenon was a result of trickery. Arlington Bruce in 1908 argued the phenomenon was fraudulently manufactured by Mom Preston's own children, especially his oldest daughter, a girl of 10. Bruce wrote that the noises and movements of objects were reminiscent of pranks and often occurred in children. Bruce noted that Glanville passed only one night in the haunted house, and with several experiences there, none that can be set down to fraud plus imagination, and the children as active agents. The drummer was suspected, but consciously or not, the children were probably the agents. That is the story of the drummer detective. Probably the kids. Probably not the curse of the drummer. There's the Mackey poltergeist, also known as the Rarick poltergeist. According to a pamphlet first published by local minister Alexer Telfair in 1696, a farm called the Ringcroft of Stocking, inhabited by the family of stonemason farmer Andrew McKee, was the site of a mysterious occurrence such as stones being thrown, cattle being moved, buildings set on fire, voices heard, family members beaten and dragged, and notes found written in blood. Telfair wrote that neighbors were hit by rocks and beaten by stabs, and that he had seen and felt ghostly arms which quickly vanished. In the pamphlet, Telfair describes things he had considered to be the occasion of the trouble, including McKee supposedly taking an oath to devote his first child to the devil, clothing left in the house by women of ill repute, and failure to burn a tooth buried under the threshold stone by a previous tenant advised by a speedy one. According to the story, the Telfair and several other clergymen said prayers at the farm and the trouble eventually subsided. Speedy is a Scots language term for a fortune-telling woman.
Interesting.
I could be pronouncing it wrong, but I pronounce it S-P-E-Y. Spain. Spain.
Sounds like probably one of my tasks.
Yes, there was a poltergeist there. Yep. That one occurred in Scotland.
Scan detected.
You got them all. I mean, they're all over. We got a plethora of them to choose from. I'm saving my favorite one for last. Do you have a favorite story of like poltergeist? Amityville Horror, I guess, could be considered a poltergeist.
Didn't they prove that all wrong though? I mean, all fake. Like, you know, they
Yeah, I'm
like
pretty sure
one,
that one was hoaxed up. Or
The
at
one-
least that's really inflated.
there was like a room, I think, under the stairs, I believe, that was supposed to be painted in blood, right? And then they said that it really wasn't blood. Okay, do you remember that? We were talking about, I mentioned this one night about the Amityville horror. What else was that they proved fake? I'm trying to remember. But I think they debunked a lot of stuff in that place. But it is a freaky story.
Amityville something? Sorry, what? Sorry, I had to get up.
Remember, that's okay. Remember the room that was supposed to be painted with blood, and then they tested it and it wasn't. There was like a room that was like under the stairs.
All I remember when Amityville was that the Warrens were kind of proven to be frauds because of it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's long and short of that one.
That's
Because
all I
then
remember.
later on, the Sun had said that a lot of this stuff never even happened, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Which explains why they were on Paranormal State, huh?
I don't remember now.
Well, you guys seen Paranormal State, that series, right?
Oh yeah. I got their video game actually.
Really?
Hmm.
Was there a problem with that going out or something? People didn't get it? Other people didn't get it or something?
I don't remember.
There's like some issue with it. Yeah, he turned out, I guess, to be, I don't know. He made a lot of promises to people that he didn't keep.
Well, that's pretty common.
Yeah.
Scan detected.
Arrested. He was arrested.
Sorry, I'm eating some food in between my drinking fits.
I'm eating weed.
You are.
Yummy.
I have mints.
I'm having, I made some like really good tuna fish salad with some kosher doing pickles. Diced them up and everything. Threw that in there. Some onions, some
Target
taro,
shields offline.
lettuce and tomato. Good stuff.
You know, coincidentally, my wife made chicken salad.
I like chicken salad.
So in the same family. And I had mine similar to yours. I had it on white toast with lettuce and tomato. It was quite delicious.
Mine's on a potato bread. I made better some potato, some good potato bread. That's my
Potato bread. Actually made out of potatoes?
Oh yeah, potato bread made from potato.
Yeah, it's good shit. It's like, yeah, it's yellow.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, it's so good. It's soft.
Right. I mean, I
got this nice yummy flavor that goes just about with any like whatever
salad.
palate, whether you put savory or sweet with it or anything, it goes well with just about any of
I
that.
agree with that.
Potatoes, yeah, you can mix them. Yeah, that makes sense.
So you know how white bread usually goes with anything? Potato
Yeah.
bread is like the other end of the spectrum.
It enhances everything, huh?
It's fucking delicious.
I have to try that, I guess. 'Cause
Here's the brand. Here's the brand I recommend.
hang on, I gotta open up Instacart. I'm ordering the groceries tomorrow. Okay.
Yep, that's the one.
What's the brand?
Martin's.
Martin's?
Yeah, I'm screen sharing it right now.
Oh, well, I'm on
Shields online.
the grocery
Everybody,
side.
that's potato bread right there. Martin's
Oh,
potato
they
bread.
have it. Yeah, they have it.
See if they have that. I usually get the what is it?
I'm gonna get some Martin's potato bread for tomorrow. It's on the list. Thank you, Pete. And what goes good with it?
Everything.
Yeah. Sandwich materials.
Ham, turkey, right?
Target shields offline.
If it if you can hold it in between two slices of bread, potato bread goes with it.
Logic malfunction.
It's on my list. Thank you. Hopefully. Yep, that's the one. Okay, good. Go for it. I'm seeing the picture.
Those Dutch, they know what they're doing.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good stuff.
You should get some pickles too, right?
Of course.
Dill pickles.
Agreed.
Kosher dill pickles, yeah.
Especially if you're gonna do tuna fish or chicken salad.
I get celery too, then don't we? Did your wife put celery in it, Pete? Or no? And he's gone.
Target destroyed.
I'm back.
Okay. How does your
hit the
wife
wrong
make the
button.
chicken? What's up, man? How does your wife make the chicken salad? Does she put celery in it, or to just?
It's celery, yeah. Celery, mayonnaise, spices. Pretty simple.
Okay. I'm gonna order some celery too.
Nothing fancy. Nothing to throw it off. Like,
Yeah, you know what?
Weird.
There's some things that simple is best. Just a very simple combination of ingredients just is perfect. You don't fuck with it. Like some good garlic mashed potatoes or whatever.
Oh, I love garlic mashed potatoes.
Oh man.
I make them all the time, yeah.
A pint of garlic and
Yeah, I mince up
herbs
real
and
garlic.
roll salt and pepper to them and everything. Real simple ingredients. Like 5 ingredient or less, and it's just it's soul food. It eases all the pain of life, and just for a moment you're just like, God damn, this is good potato salad.
There was something I did today.
What'd you do?
Believe her. Like there.
Oh,
I
that's
love Bloody Marys.
And I made this pretty spicy. It was pretty spicy. But she drank it. Spicy as well. There's Tabasco, horseradish, and the olive juice. Also, the olives that were in the drink are stuffed with pepper.
Large over there.
it's good. I gotta say it, man. I love story right
Got that freaking right, yeah.
there. You know you love a motherfucker when you take the time to make a good Bloody Mary.
Slow crafted, handcrafted Bloody Mary. Handcrafted.
Target destroyed.
As it should be.
God, sounds good.
Devon, the baby comes in 9 months.
Scan detected.
Are you having a baby fed?
No.
I like the way you said that.
Unless my fucking hand is telling me something, I don't know. Which is weirder. Which is as weird as the world has gotten. It wouldn't surprise me.
You know, one thing I really do enjoy, though, I don't know if you guys have ever had it, is when they take shrimp and they wrap it up in bacon.
Oh, of course.
They put it on a toothpick.
Scallops
Bacon?
too.
Oh, bacon? Bacon's the shit.
Yeah, scallops too. And I don't normally like scallops, but like the last time I had bacon wrapped scallops, they were really good.
Me too, Jesse. I like scallops. Butter and salt on them.
You know, surprisingly enough, I've had both of those. Last time and the only time I've ever had those was in a cocktail. It was delicious and got me supremely fucked up in the mouth. It's very good.
Have you ever had clams casino?
What is that?
It is a hash shell dish, breadcrumbs and bacon. Green pepper is also used.
Green peppers can be hard.
Oh, kind of like on the top of it, bacon. Crispy on top. They just do it like slider. I've got a good picture. I think I have.
Man, there's some kick-ass Bloody Mary pictures.
Like,
That's okay.
That was delicious.
oh yeah, I have had that. Port Town in Las Vegas where yeah, those are actually quite delicious.
And that's
Yeah,
called what
there's
again?
breadcrumbs in there. It's baked.
Clams, what's it called again, Pete?
Clams casino.
Clams Casino.
Yeah, Clams casino.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
Target destroyed.
Yeah, like I don't really go out for. I'm not a big seafood person, but when I do, like I like good, really good stuff. This would be something I would look out. Just because fucking tasty, dude.
It's bacon, it's breadcrumbs, it's clam. It's usually served as like an appetizer or hors d'oeuvres.
Right.
And you, like you mentioned, you can just bang them like sliders. You know, you don't even really need a fork.
Exactly. Give me some shots and some of those, and I'm good to go. Like and I'm gonna go hit the casino and either lose a lot of money or make a lot of money.
Yeah, clams and oysters are my shit. I do love them. I used to go to the place called New Jersey. Who knows if it'll still be open? But they used to do Wednesday nights buck a shot. And, you know, you go in there and be oyster night, and you could eat all the oysters you could because it was $1 oyster. And they had oysters from all over the country. They had two dudes down there in a big fucking booth surrounded by oysters, and they're just shucking oysters, just shucking oysters. Like, it's just like, it's crazy to watch.
I'm not into oysters, but I like those big clams, the big steamer clams. Like,
Oh, yeah,
by
yeah.
the grill. Yeah, I can crush them shits.
I have never been shy of, like, I've traveled, I've eaten a lot of weird shit and everything else. And I do like good old-fashioned double bacon cheeseburger. Americana, baby.
Or a good steak.
Yeah, it's like I've eaten a lot of weird shit from international cuisine and stuff like that. It's just, it always comes back. I'm just like, what?
Shields online. Target shields offline. Under attack. Malfunction. Scan detected. Incoming mission critical message. Target destroyed. Scan detected. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
on a baby.
Right?
Like,
Or a good steak.
yeah, it's like I've eaten a lot of weird shit from international cuisine and stuff like that, and it's just, I don't know. It always comes back. I'm just like, you know what? I hate to. I don't hate to say this. I'm just gonna say it. Like America, because we're the smelting pot of the world and everything, we got the best of everybody's world because we filtered out all the bullshit and just kept what was good. And my God, the fucking cheeseburger! I'm like, whoever invented that, I'm like, I would kiss their ancestors and be like, dude, thank you.
All right, Fed. I had one better. I had one better than a regular cheeseburger, and when I was in Mexico, it was called like a Veracruz style hamburger.
Mhm.
So you got the regular stuff on it, a hamburger and cheese, but they also put a round piece of ham, egg, and avocado.
That sounds really good.
Oh my God. Oh my God. To die for.
You guys ever have Eggs Benedict? Did we ever talk about that before?
Yes, I tried to order that after you told me about it, Pete, and I've looked at two IHOP and Bob Evans. None of them have it.
Pete, that is the dish that I judge any place that I go for breakfast entrees or whatever.
Right.
That is one dish I judge all restaurants on, as if they can make a good Eggs Benedict or not. If it's shit, I won't order anything else on their menu and will never go into the restaurant.
I fucking love Eggs Benedict. It is like
I want to try it so
food of the
bad.
fucking gods, man.
You can buy like jars of hollandaise sauce pre-made. It's not
It's
gonna be
not the same as having somebody make it for you, make it just right, you know. I don't make Eggs Benedict all day and night in the diner. But when I go someplace like, there's a place in Jersey, they do 200 fucking omelets. 200 different omelets they do. Like, and if I went there and got it, it's perfect because the guy in there makes them all day, you know. But hollandaise sauce in a jar, that's, I mean, it's tempting. It's tempting. You can put
Should
it
I
all-
get a mix?
It's kind of a pain making it yourself. You have to get a double boiler set up unless you really know what you're doing.
Should I get a mix or no?
So what?
Hollandaise sauce. Hollandaise sauce.
What are you gonna do? You gonna try and make it yourself?
Yeah, why not? What else
It's
am I
really
gonna
hard
do?
to make. You gotta poach an egg.
Yeah, you can make a double boiler setup because it's easier than just bringing it up to temperature. You need like an actual chef for that.
Okay, there's
But you just separate the egg yolks and go from there.
Concord
You gotta make a
Foods.
bit of it.
It's the Concord Foods Hollandaise sauce mix. Delicious with fresh asparagus. Original.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you this. I can make you some Eggs Benedict with some fucking corned beef hash and fucking poached egg that will make you just bust a fucking nut as soon as
Come on over then. I'm gonna leave the light on for you. Come on over, Fed. I'd like
or
that.
I can do salmon hash. I can do Canadian bacon.
How do you make salmon hash?
Salmon hash, basically you cook the salmon and then you basically flake it out and then you like re-texturize it as patty. You basically cook it about halfway or whatever.
Do you put extra stuff into it?
Yeah, you put like some cornmeal or breadcrumbs or whatever, like whatever your medium is. But you basically make a hush puppy out of it
Right on.
with fucking salmon meat in it.
Bad Comics Review says I don't trust eggs named after traitors.
Well, I'll tell you this, I make you some Eggs Benedict. It'll make you want to flip on your own country because that shit's so good.
I definitely want to try it. Like I said, I tried to get it from 2 different restaurants here and they don't make it. Or you can't
Eggs
order it.
Benedict was not named after Benedict Arnold. Eggs Benedict was named after Mr. and Mrs. Legrand Benedict in the 1860s. They were regulars that came to Delmonico's restaurant, I guess.
They rock, huh?
Dude, I will tell you though, Eggs Benedict is one of those foods, if you get it right, it is goddamn delicious and will fucking nourish your soul. If you get it wrong, it's just, you're just like, fuck this shit, give me something else. Like I'll eat a fried dog.
What does it boil down to? Just the hollandaise sauce? It's got to be just right, or the egg? I mean,
Everything's got to be just perfect.
Right. But
It's all a matter of timing too. Like you gotta have everything timed out just right. Like if you go to the right place, they're making their own hollandaise sauce.
Oh, okay. Like I said, we tried IHOP and Bob Evans. That was it from Uber Eats.
I never have any luck with IHOP. Every time I eat at IHOP, they're just terrible.
Yeah, I got
I love IHOP. They got a chicken fried steak and gravy for $10. Comes with fucking pancakes.
I know, the meals come with pancakes. It cracks me up. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
steak.
coffee and pancakes, mandatory.
And the steak was, I don't know if it was treat meat or what, but it was just what, it almost tasted sweet. And I'm like, what is wrong with this? I mean, you're right, Becca, though. I didn't really enjoy it that much. My dad loves IHOP, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, that's his, like, go-to restaurant.
Yeah, every time I get there, like they're out of something. They're out of mayonnaise one day. Their burgers are always frozen and disgusting. And...
Yeah, the steak was awful.
Dude, why you motherfuckers gotta bring up IHOP? Because now I'm thinking...
I don't know, their IHOP suck. The ones out here are pretty damn good.
No, because I'm thinking I got some buttermilk pancake mix in the fucking cupboard, and I got some boysenberry syrup and all that shit, and I actually got some heavy whipping cream so I can mix up some of that shit and make some Cool Whip or whatever to put on top of it. So like
some creme fraiche.
Dude, I can have some tutti fresh and fruity and under 30. Why you gotta tease me like that? Because you know what I'm gonna do as soon as this stream ends, and we'll go back to the kitchen.
Cooking full.
It's a good thing I'm doing sit-ups and shit, otherwise I'd become a big fucking fat ass. Fuck you! Fuck you!
I heard that. Loud and clear.
That's what I'm talking. Straight kill some motherfuckers. That's what I'm talking about. Stab him! Stab him! Right in the fucking throat.
Look, just remember that I called it. He's gonna have another kid.
You know what? It's neck cutter. What's your name? Your neck. Wait, what? What do you want to talk to? Your neck. What do you want to do? Neck cutter.
I think, Jesse, you're right.
Oh, I'm right.
I think you're right. I agree. What do you
Especially
think?
stuck home.
You get
He's screwed.
You got
More
that.
ways than one.
You got that gift.
This situation is gonna end
I think it's
His life.
with a handful of hair wrapped up and shit falling off the fucking desktop.
Let everybody know. I'll let everybody know.
Yeah. Did you guys have a new kid?
No, nobody's got anything to say about it.
Wait, did you guys make a new kid now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm calling it every time you walk away that you're gonna have another kid.
We were taking bets on it.
Ed already described how you're going to do it on the keyboard there. You missed out.
You're gonna do it on the keyboard.
It's gonna be up against the desk and shit's gonna be like knocked over and shit and everything. Just gonna hear it's gonna sound like a bunch of shit breaking in the background. And
What kind of world do you live in, dude?
Stereo of your next
You're reading too
child,
much of that Bigfoot erotica.
right?
but
Like a
that
mouthful of
is
Bigfoot.
A mouthful of Bigfoot. Come on now.
Remember that was one of the books.
I do remember.
Incoming message.
It's so
On the
gross.
topic of breakfast things, have I mentioned Scrapple before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Oh, you think you reminded me. Okay, Scrapple.
You should get some Scrapple, Tina.
Scrapple, right?
Yep.
The fuck is Scrabble?
Okay, they only have one, and it is made by Philadelphia's favorite Scrapple, Haverset.
That's the one.
That's the one? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought Scrapple was food.
Now, how do I
It
do
is
that?
food.
Scrabble. I've been playing so much lately.
You have.
Y'all motherfuckers saying
How do I do it, Pete?
How do you do it? Like, here, I'll show you a picture. Here. I'll show you
Okay.
a picture.
Stick it in, pull it out, do the old
Okay,
Trent
if you look
wheels.
over here, you see some Scrapple.
Uh-huh.
That's
It's
toast,
fried
Pete.
pretty good. It's you slice it. You slice it like this guy's slicing it
Okay.
into thin patties, or I guess a 1/4 inch,
Like
half-inch
Spam.
size,
Okay.
and then you fry it.
Okay.
You put it in the frying pan.
Uh-huh.
You fry it up. Scrapple.
I can put that on my potato
Yeah.
bread?
Yeah. If you ever want to know
You
how to
could
make
put it on your potato bread. You could eat it with your eggs.
Oh, that looks good.
Did you ever see that channel Townsend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's got a recipe how to make that shit from scratch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he does a whole video on it. It is
I'll
actually
make it from
pretty cool.
scratch. I just
Here,
wanna
look,
try
Scrapple
it.
fries. You can get Scrapple fries here in Philly. Here's where you can get Scrapple fries in Philly. Probably can't get them now. But you want your Scrapple to look kind of like this. It's going to be fried,
Right, okay.
crispy, and then it's like brown on the grayish brown on the inside.
Uh-huh.
Here's a whole plate of them,
Okay.
ready to rock.
Yeah, right.
There we go.
I got it. It's in the
Who
basket.
cares if it's awful? If it,
got it.
fucking,
Scrapple fries, yeah.
if it tastes good and you can poop it out the next day, you're good to go.
So okay, so what? So when you put it on a sandwich, what do you put on it? Like mayonnaise or ketchup or what? What's better?
I put ketchup on Scrapple.
Okay, ketchup. Okay. You just eat it plain, or do you put it on bread?
You can do it either way. Like, you could put it on a potato bread with a fried egg and, a piece of cheese.
Sounds good, right?
Or you could, eat it by itself with an egg fried next to it. It's a breakfast meat. You should have some eggs with it.
Okay, perfect.
Think of it like sausage or bacon.
Well, my cousin and I we'll make breakfast a lot for lunch or dinner too.
Aaron, you don't look at what's in it. You smell it, and it smells delicious when it's fried and ready to go, and you eat it, and you don't think
We don't
about
care what PC parts are in it, just as long as it tastes good.
Right, exactly. So long as